What's good, y'all? This your boy Blak G 92, back with the third reaction video. Like I said before, I plan on doing a bunch of videos to make up for the lost time starting out this month of this season, more so the fourth season of the 31 Days of October, which I do every year. And I did plan on doing 31 videos, but by way of looks of it, might just be more so in the 20s to high 20s, more so close to 31, but who knows? We're just going to record a bunch of videos and see what happens next. But anyway, I was actually in the middle of reacting to this video until I got a phone call from my pops. I had to pick it up, chop up with them real quick, and I was going to continue where I left off and save the footage I did record before the phone call came in, but I feel like it would throw the vibe off, rather just keep the same vibe that I started with. So I'm going to go ahead and just start on over and with the video that I reacted to, made by a popular YouTuber, goes by the name of Marvelous Videos, and the video I'm reacting to right now, well, more so starting over, is the 11 terrifying adult horror animated movies that you must experience at least once. And the first choice in this countdown is pretty interesting. It's something I've already seen, Soul Station. I like his description of the plot, whatever. But let's go ahead and get started over. Let's get to it.
Top 11 adult horror animation movie. Animated films were initially exclusive to humorous, heartwarming cartoons with a moral message, mostly for young children. However, in the latter half of the 20th century, filmmakers explored and learned that these animation features can be used to tell any type of story. Since then, we have witnessed innumerable horror animation films with a lot of gore and bloodshed. Animation features are no longer restricted to plots which leave us with only a laugh or a smile. Horror animation films can sometimes be so dreadful that it might make our skin crawl or drown us in nihilistic thoughts. Twisted plots, predominance of evil, and violent scenes makes them unwatchable for children, and maybe even some adults.
Yeah.
Today, we will be talking
got a point
about
there.
the top 11 adult horror animation movies. Pay close attention and make sure the lights are on.
Yeah, for those that are scared of the dark. But then again, I can't really talk, because after I watched, I do not like this motherfucking. You know what? I lost my train of thought. I don't like this motherfucking commercial that get in the middle of my reactions. I hate that shit.
This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Let's get it. Let's get to it. This is a great choice. And it's a great movie. Awesome zombie attack scenes.
The plot focuses on two major characters. That of Sukyu, a father in search for his wayward daughter, Hai-sun, only to learn that she has become a prostitute. A zombie outbreak occurs in Seoul just as he is going to be reunited with her. A ragged man appears to be the root of a zombie outbreak in and around Seoul Station. A second squatter who sits next to him spots the blood and attempts to aid, but the injured guy is dead by the time he returns. The second homeless person goes to the police station to report his friend's death. The cops pursue him, but the man has vanished. When the squatter goes in pursuit of the elderly guy, he encounters him as a zombie, who attacks him in return.
That was an awesome scene right there.
Life in a brothel, now resides with her lover, Ki-woon, who plans to sell her out again owing to financial difficulties. Following a
her boyfriend is a bit of a piece of shit, man, for real, for even want her to go out and sell her body again, like, and he wants to make money off of it. Yeah, that was just fucked up on his part when he suggested the idea, because she left from that life, and just to find out that he's probably putting her back in that way of life again. Yeah, that was fucked up, but it does eventually redeem himself later on.
The two split up and become engulfed in the commotion erupting from Seoul Station. Hai-sun and a few survivors escape and take shelter inside of a police station, where they are imprisoned by a bunch of zombies within a detention cell, along with a police officer who has been bitten by a zombie. In the meantime, Hai-sun's father, Sukyu, questions Ki-woon about his daughter's whereabouts. When the two get to Hai House, they discover that the landlady has turned into a zombie. Sun-gyu and Ki-woon both seek refuge in the restroom after being attacked by another zombie. Written and directed by Yeon Sang-ho, Seoul Station, released on August 18th, 2016, is a South Korean animated zombie film. It is a prequel to the live-action film Train to Busan.
Yep, another
The
amazing
movie
movie.
take place one day before the events of its sequel. The film does not explain why the zombie apocalypse had occurred, thereby not serving much to the expectations you keep from a movie that is a prequel to a zombie movie. Despite losing a bit of its appeal for this reason, the movie is still a distinguishable zombie film with an artistic animation to support the gripping narrative. In the short runtime of 90 minutes, the film introduces 3 characters and talks about the hardships of vagabonds and outcasts in a big city, especially during an ongoing epidemic. The film does get overshadowed when compared to its sequel, but still continues to be a good watch.
Yep. You're right about that. Now, oh. Boom, boom.
Number 2, Resident
Evil.
Degeneration, 2008. In November 2005, Harvardville Airport was hit by a T-virus attack from both within the terminal and from a crashed airliner. Claire Redfield, a TerraSave employee, meets Senator Ron Davis, a strong opponent of TerraSave, and they are forced into hiding in the VIP lounge along with Rani, the niece of a TerraSave employee. By evening, the airport had been secured by the local special response team and the U.S. Army, who were assisting in evacuating the survivors. Federal agents Leon S. Kennedy joins officers Angela Miller and Greg Glenn. Claire's gang had been rescued.
He's a good shot.
They were, however, obliged to abandon the afflicted Greg. Crooks from the drug company Will Pharma come to give a T-virus vaccination that they developed, but are destroyed by explosives.
Damn.
Leon explains that a terrorist has threatened to spread the T-virus throughout the United States if the government personnel engaged in its development are not identified before midnight.
These damned commercials.
Just this all day, and it will train your body to become a natural fat burner.
Another of these quick fix weight loss programs, which will encourage more fat people to skip the process of exercise and watching their diet and rely on some quick fix instead of taking the hard road. I just had to get that out of my head, and I don't mean to get too off topic, but yeah, I just hate when these damn commercials of quick fix. You lose weight fast. We sip this drink, do this and do that. It's like, that does not replace the hard work of like finding the exercise that fits you, as well as watching the diet, amongst other things. Like, I don't know what's up with these doctors. What they get out? What they get a rise out of giving people false hope? I don't know. This will be a whole nother video about that, but let's go back to the vibes.
Harvardville, with Will Pharma head researcher Frederick Downing. Downing then reveals intentions to create a G-virus vaccine, which enrages Claire due to its severe risk. Downing excuses himself and leaves Claire in his office. Claire notifies Leon of what Downing told her and discovers that he and Angela had discovered her brother Curtis's house on fire. Downing calls Claire and warns her about a guy who has detonated a time bomb. Claire sees Curtis momentarily in the building's central garden before the bomb goes off. Unlike Resident Evil live-action films, Resident Evil Degeneration follows the universe of the original game. The plot is set between the events of Resident Evil 4 and 5 video games. Directed by Makoto Kamiya, this animated biopunk action horror film is the first full-length motion capture CG animation feature of the Japanese video game developer and publisher Capcom Co.
Okay.
In their Resident Evil franchise. Being faithful to the game's storyline, Degeneration serves as a prologue for the Resident Evil 5 video game. Now, if you are a fan of the Resident Evil franchise, then this movie is a treat as the main characters of the game, Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield, appear together for the first time. This film has some of the best action sequences. Though the movie is a good watch for all horror lovers, the true extent of entertainment is far more for the franchise lovers.
I bet. And for some reason, I never really got into Resident Evil. Now, also later on in life, I thought about, I might give this franchise a shot. I mean, find the best of the best, of course. But the visuals, based on what I've seen and how he presented it, seems a good watch. So I might see if I can find it on YouTube somewhere.
Number 3, Dead Space Downfall. 2008. Downfall occurs in the year 2508, millennia after mankind barely evaded extinction due to resource depletion by cracking planets in a 3-year procedure to harvest their resources. The narrative begins during the second year of an illicit mining operation supported by the Church of Unitology on the planet Aegis 7. Jennifer Barrows, a colony geologist, discovers a monolith-like relic known as a marker, an artifact revered by Unitologists. In actuality, the marker is a human replica of an extraterrestrial item that begins to have a devastating effect on the colony, eventually creating an outbreak of reanimated mutant corpses known as necromorphs.
Those things look menacing and hideous.
Infiltrated and eventually destroyed the Ishimura via the eyes of a variety of Aegis 7 miners and Ishimura crewmates. The film begins with a video message from a security head, Alyssa Vincent, who declares that the Ishimura has been lost and that both the ship and the marker that provoked its demise must be destroyed. The narrative begins with Barrow's discovery of the marker in an area with evidence of old human digging. The Aegis 7 colony has suffered a catastrophic collapse by the time the Ishimura arrived, with many slain and several reports of violent madness. The marker is taken on board under the authority of Captain Matthias and Dr. Kine, causing several Unitologist crew members, including engineer Samuel Irons, to worship it. Vincent becomes increasingly enraged at the presence of the marker on board, believing it to be blamed for the colony's demise.
Free my soul.
Interesting. Woo! Horrible way to go.
Electronic Arts, Dead Space Downfall is a 2008 American psychological sci-fi horror film. Directed by Chuck Padden and written by Justin Great and Jimmy Palmiotti, the movie is based on EA's popular 2008 survival horror video game Dead Space. It is more like a prequel to the first game, with some great horrifying visuals made of a mix of CG and hand-drawn animation. Downfall is a rare horror cartoon, with brutality resembling Japanese anime. The film can be said to be a mix of standard animation and anime. The film
I can definitely see that.
A slow pace, explaining the elements of the story to lay the narrative foundation for the game. There were mixed responses for the movie, with a lot of scope for better animation, but if you are fond of the game, then all these won't matter, as the plot brilliantly connects to the events at the beginning of the game.
Oh, Perfect Blue. I've been meaning to see that movie.
You guys know how it is when you buy a new Mac. It's super fast at first, and then pretty soon after it starts to slow down. That's probably because you haven't been using...
Shut up.
Number 4. Perfect Blue, 1997.
I knew this was going to be on the list.
Mima Kirigoi, a member of the J-pop idol group Cham, calls it quits with the group to pursue a career as a full-time actor. She is hounded by a creepy-looking admirer dubbed Me-Mania, who is furious over her departure from her previous persona. Mima discovers a website named Mima's Room after following instructions from a fan letter, and it contains public journal entries written from her viewpoint, as well as detailed records of her everyday life and thoughts. Her manager and former pop idol, Rumi Hidaka, as well as her agency, Tadokoro, assist her in her acting career. Mima tells Rumi about Mima's Room, but is encouraged to disregard it. Mima's first engagement as an actor comes in the form of a small role in a television detective drama called Double Bind. Tadokoro contacts the producers of Double Bind and is successful in gaining Mima a larger part that includes a rape scene. Ignoring Rumi's misgivings, Mima accepts the position, despite the fact that it has a significant impact on her. On her way back home, she encounters a mirror of herself dressed in her old idol's clothes. The reflections, dressed as an idol, proclaims herself to be the actual Mima. Mima begins to suffer from insanity as a result of the constant difficulties of shooting Double Bind. Her lingering remorse over quitting Cham, her terror of being pursued, and her growing fascination with Mima's Room. She, in particular, is having difficulty in distinguishing her real life from her career in show business, as well as having a reoccurrent, seemingly surreal sightings of her previous self.
I'll be in the light and you'll be in the shadows.
Several persons associated with her acting are assassinated. Mima
damn.
discovers evidence that points to her as the major suspect in the killings, and her erratic behavior causes her to doubt her own recollections and innocence as she recalls viciously murdering photographer Murano. Directed by Satoshi Kon and written by Sadayuki Murai, Perfect Blue is a 1997 Japanese anime psychological thriller film based on the 1991 novel Perfect Blue, Complete Metamorphosis, by Yoshikazu Takuchi. The novel's sequel, Perfect Blue, was released 2 years before the film in 1995. The film portrays the horrors associated with fame addiction, which acts as a form of mutual dependency between the star and their audience. Revolving around the character Mima, Satoshi and Murai develop a very complex structure for hallucinations and fittingly name the show, where she is acting, Double Bind, symbolizing how her alter ego and herself are knit by their addiction to fame. The film has some moments where it interestingly plays on levels and understanding of reality. The interesting fact is that the film was originally planned to be a live-action feature, but later became an anime as several investors had backed out from the project during its pre-production.
Interesting. Well, I don't blame them because this quite has some heavy subjects.
All copies available for the movie are from lower quality prints, as the film's original 35mm camera negative was accidentally destroyed. It still serves as a good horror animation film to watch. Number 5. Junji Ito Collection 2018.
I've seen that name
Ito
going
Collection
around.
is a horror anime that made its debut on January 5th of 2018. It consists of 24 short stories. Mysterious monsters lurk in the darkest shadows of every corner, whether during the day or at night. They are inexplicable, unavoidable, and unbeatable. Prepare yourself, or you may become their next prey. As horrifying tales of unrivaled terror unfold, sit back and dread. Tales include a cursed jade sculpture that opens holes all over its victims' bodies, terrible nightmares that last decades,
Looks painful.
an appealing spirit at a foggy crossroads who gives accursed advice, and a slug that develops inside a girl's lips.
That is a disgusting way to go.
Listen cautiously, for Ito Junji's terrifying, otherworldly tales is not a collection for the faint-hearted.
I bet.
Anime anthology series Junji Ito is adapted from 2 of Ito's manga collections, the single volume of Fragments of Horror and the 11th volume of
That thing looks like
Junji Ito
Godzilla.
Masterpiece Collection, premiered on January 5th, 2018.
These damned commercials. But I might end up having a cutoff point right there, so I won't go for too long, and I don't want this shit to cut off like in the middle of me watching
5th,
this.
2018.
After this, that
series
is.
collects Ito's favorite 24 stories and puts them into 12 episodes, and 2 original video animations focusing on the character of Tomi.
I'm gonna have to check out the
Series
manga
was
as well.
Animated by Studio Dean, co-produced by Crunchyroll, and broadcasted
Crunchyroll.
worldwide in 8 different languages. There are many variables in this film that engages the interest of its viewers, ranging from getting accustomed to Ito's abstract concepts to debatable comparisons with the original work of the manga. Although the plot is mainly focused on horror, there are a few elements of comic relief which adds a different taste to the film. Although the anime is loved by the manga followers, the scary moments in the film and plot should appeal to all horror lovers in general.
Okay. Alright. Well, I'm gonna cut off right here. Man, this is gonna be the first part of my reaction to this video. And thus far got some interesting choices. Some I've heard before, others not so much. And I was thinking about writing some down, but I didn't have a pen on me, so I might do so probably after this reaction and probably on my own time, so then I can just hunt these titles down, see if they got any hard copies available anywhere, which I probably have my doubts because some of these titles were only available for that year, and depending on the companies they come from, might not have them on DVD or Blu-ray. But I might do the hunting for said hard copies. But yeah, like this is definitely something. Sometimes I might end up checking out since this is the season. So yeah, and it's interesting. And I like the choices he made as well in the commentary. Very good at what he does. And if you want me to track more of these sort of countdowns, especially in month of October, let me know in the comment section. Any other videos as well. Hit that like button, hit that notification button, subscribe button as well if you like this reaction video. Hit me up on social media accounts, post in the description box below. Hit that donation link to my Cash App if you're able to. And this your boy Blak G92 about to sign off. Holla at your boy.